Get ready to dive back into the scrapyard with Battle Angel Alita.
Oh, yeah. These Battle Angel Alita excerpts are going to be fun.
They're packed with details about this world.
Definitely.
So much to unpack.
A lot to dig into.
Especially with a world as richly imagined as this one.
It's a wild one.
You've got this city, the scrapyard.
Right.
Literally built on the discarded remnants of Salem.
Built on trash. Yeah.
Imagine looking up and seeing not just stars.
Not just stars.
But an entire utopia constantly reminding you of what you'll never have.
Exactly.
It's more than just a cool visual, though.
Oh, absolutely.
You've started several passages about the falling waste.
Oh, it's everyone in the story.
What do you think Kishiro's saying about the relationship between these two places?
It's a powerful metaphor, I think, for social stratification. You've got Salem representing privilege, technology, and abundance. And then the scrapyard embodies the discarded, the forgotten. Almost like a stark reminder of the chasm between the haves and have-nots.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit further.
Yeah.
We meet Ido, our resident cybernetic doctor.
Right.
And he discovers Alita amidst this wasteland.
He does.
Not exactly your average medical waste.
No, not at all. And it's interesting, you highlighted this in your notes, the unusual preservation of Alita's brain.
Yeah.
It's not just luck. This detail, this speaks volumes about the advanced technology of this world.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if her brain is that intact after 200 years.
I know, it's wild.
What else might she be capable of?
That's the question, right?
Right.
And I think that's exactly the question that drives Ido to revive her.
Yeah.
He even says in Gum, such exquisite craftsmanship. It deserves a second chance.
Wow.
He sees beyond the broken cyborg body and recognizes a spark, a glimmer of something extraordinary.
It's interesting, though. He clearly grapples with the decision.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he even thinks...
He's unsure.
What have I gotten myself into?
Right.
It's like he knows he's opening Pandora's box.
Yeah, he's a scientist, but he's also driven by compassion.
Okay.
Even if he hides it behind a gruff exterior. Yeah. Remember that passage you marked? When Alita first opens her eyes, she's described as childlike amnesiac, but with this inherent curiosity, Ido is drawn to that spark, that potential for innocence in a world that's lost its way.
And speaking of innocence, Alita's early days in the scrapyard are fascinating.
They are.
She's literally experiencing everything for the first time.
Brand new.
You've underlined her fascination with simple things.
It's beautiful.
Sunshine, rain, even the taste of food.
Yeah.
It's pure.
It's a reminder of the human capacity for wonder.
Yeah.
Even amidst such harsh surroundings.
Yeah.
But it also makes her incredibly vulnerable.
Right.
She's like a blank slate, susceptible to both the kindness and the cruelty of the scrapyard.
And she encounters both pretty quickly, right?
She does.
Her first real taste of danger comes when she stumbles upon Ido's secret life as a hunter-warrior. You've got a question mark next to this panel.
I do.
It seems like Alita's reaction to Ido's secret life really caught your attention.
It's fascinating.
What do you make of her response?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
She doesn't recoil in fear or judge him.
Yeah.
Instead, there's this sense of recognition.
Okay.
Almost a yearning.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but you can see it in her eyes in this panel. A hint of something awakening within her.
Interesting.
Almost like a distant echo of a forgotten past. It's that echo, you know, that spark of recognition that leads her to that fateful encounter with Calico.
Calico.
You've circled her name several times in your notes.
I have to, yeah.
Clearly her character resonated with you.
How could she not? She's this total badass.
Oh, she's so cool.
Cyborg, who also happens to be a hunter-warrior.
Right.
What's not to love?
Exactly.
He's incredible.
But she's more than just a cool character, though.
Okay.
You've highlighted Calico's red hot legs attack.
It's such a cool visual.
It is cool, but Kishiro contrasts her speed and precision with Ido's more brutal approach.
Yeah, it's like it's
totally different fighting stuff.
Yes, it's a subtle way of introducing these different philosophies about violence and survival in the scrapyard.
It's like she's a scalpel.
Right.
And Ido's a sledgehammer.
Yes, exactly.
And Alita is caught between these two extremes.
It's true.
Trying to figure out where she fits in.
And she gets a crash course in the brutality of the scrapyard soon enough.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that encounter with Zora and her gang?
Oh, my gosh.
You start that entire sequence.
It's intense.
It is intense.
Alita goes from enjoying this simple street performance to staring death in the face.
It's a wild turn of events.
What do you think Kishiro is trying to show us about the Scrapyard and the power dynamics?
Well, that's a good question. The cost of survival in those moments.
He's peeling back the layers of this world, I think, revealing the darkness lurking beneath its surface.
Yeah.
It's a world where innocence is a liability.
Right.
And survival often means compromising your morals.
And Alita experiences this firsthand.
Yeah.
You've put a question mark next to this panel.
I did.
Where Alita shatters that knife with her bare hands.
Oh, I love that part.
The pivotal moment.
It is, absolutely. It's where the Panzerkunst truly emerges.
Oh, wow.
Remember Calico mentioning that Alita's fighting style isn't Earth-based?
Right.
It's like a switch flips.
Yeah.
And suddenly she's not just a naive girl anymore.
Yeah.
She's a weapon.
It's almost like she's possessed.
Right.
By the ghost of a warrior, right?
Yes.
This incredible power that she doesn't understand, can't control.
It's a lot to handle.
Imagine a martial art so devastating
that
it's said to have originated on Mars.
Wow.
A world known for brutal conflict.
Right.
That's Panzerkunst. Every movement designed to overwhelm and dominate.
And yet there's this tragic beauty to it, too, like a dance on the edge of a knife.
It's beautiful but terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
And terrifying it should be.
Yeah.
Especially for someone as inexperienced as Alita.
Right.
It's like giving a child a loaded gun.
It's a good thing Calico steps in as a mentor.
She does.
She recognizes the danger in Alita's raw talent.
Yeah.
Her untamed potential.
Right.
She sees a kindred spirit in her, someone who understands the weight of survival in the scrapyard.
Their dynamic is so interesting.
It is.
You've circled Calico's line.
I did.
You need to learn how to fight fire with fire, Alita.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's passing the torch.
Right.
Preparing Alita for a destiny that she herself may not escape.
Precisely. Calico becomes a mirror reflecting a possible future for Alita.
Wow.
A path paved with both strength and sorrow.
And then there's Norenko. Oh. You've circled his name in your notes.
He's a tough one to forget.
Let's unpack why his story is so unsettling.
Okay.
This guy has lost everything.
He really has.
His sight, his family, his grip on reality.
Yeah, it's like he's lost himself.
He's clinging to this illusion of his daughter, Breda.
Right.
Even fashioning a doll out of a cyborg body.
It's heartbreaking.
You've marked this section about Norenko in your notes.
I think it's one of the most...
And it's no wonder why his story forces us to ask.
It does.
How far would we go to outrun grief?
It's a powerful question.
What happens when technology blurs the lines between comfort and delusion?
It's a question that resonates deeply within the world Kishiro has created.
Right.
Norenko isn't just a villain.
Yeah.
He's a study in trauma.
He is.
He's blinded himself both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
Unable to face the guilt and grief over the fire that killed his family.
And his solution is to retreat further into this fantasy.
It's understandable in a way. Even grafting his own head onto the Breda doll's body.
Yeah.
It's both disturbing and heartbreaking.
You've underlined this passage where he says,
Which one?
As long as Breda is alive, my heart can go on beating.
Oh, yeah.
It highlights this desperate need for connection.
Yes.
For purpose, even if it's rooted in delusion.
Exactly.
And it's Alita who gets caught in the middle of this.
He does.
She's so determined to bring Norenko back to reality.
She really wants to help.
Convinced that the truth will set him free.
Of course.
You've put a question mark next to this panel where she confronts him.
I did.
That's a tough one.
It is.
Is she right to force him to confront the truth?
It's a complex question with no easy answers.
Right.
On one hand, she's driven by compassion.
Right.
By this belief that facing reality is the only path to healing.
Yeah.
But she also underestimates the power of Norenko's grief.
Okay.
His desperate need to cling to the illusion of Breda.
And that clash of ideals leads to that brutal showdown in the ruins.
Yeah.
This fight clearly resonated with you.
It's hard to forget.
You've got stars next to several panels.
It's intense.
It's more than just action.
It really is.
It makes us question, does Alita's compassion for Norenko make her more human?
Wow.
Even as she embraces her cyborg strength.
It's a testament to Kishiro's ability to weave together action and emotion.
Right.
You have these two contrasting fighting styles.
Oh, yeah. Totally different.
Alita's Panzerkunst This whirlwind of lethal grace.
Right.
Against Norinko's mantis kung fu all about precision.
Right.
And exploiting weaknesses.
It's like watching a tragic ballet unfold amidst the ruins.
It is.
And as the fight progresses, you see Alita struggling, not just physically, but emotionally.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember that panel you highlighted? Where Norinko taunts her saying,
what does he say? You
fight like a machine devoid of heart.
Oof.
It cuts deep, doesn't it?
It does.
Why do you think that is?
Because it challenges Alita's own perception of herself. She's trying to reconcile her growing capacity for violence with her innate compassion.
Wow.
And Norinko, in his own twisted way, forces her to confront that duality.
And ultimately, it's that compassion that allows her to defeat him.
Yeah.
Not by brute force, but by understanding his weakness.
Right.
His need for a stable base.
Just brilliant.
That angel's wing hook.
So cool.
It's not just a cool move.
No, it's not.
It's a culmination of everything Alita has learned.
Exactly.
She turns Norinko's own rigidity against him.
Right.
Finding a solution that ends the fight, quickly minimizing suffering.
She's really grown as a fighter.
And yet there's this bittersweet victory.
There is.
Norinko, in his final moments, still clings to the illusion of Breda.
It's sad.
It's both heartbreaking and thought-provoking.
It is.
It reminds us that sometimes truth isn't enough.
Sometimes it's not.
That some wounds run so deep they can only be soothed by illusion.
It's a hard truth.
It's a powerful ending to a really intense arc. Throughout this deep dive, we've explored the brutal realities of the Scrapyard.
Yeah.
The blurred lines between humanity and technology.
It's a thin line sometimes.
And the sacrifices we make in the name of survival.
Definitely.
We've seen Alita's incredible strength.
Oh, yeah.
But also her compassion.
She's a complex character.
And we've grappled with unsettling questions.
Right.
About identity, grief, and the seductive nature of delusion.
Kishiro really makes you think.
You've underlined this quote from Ido.
Oh, which one?
In the Scrapyard, even trash can become treasure.
It's one of my favorites.
What do you think he meant by that?
I think he meant that even in the darkest of places, there's always hope.
As you journey back into your own world, perhaps a little less dystopian than the Scrapyard.
Hopefully.
But I hope you'll consider what it truly means to be human.
It's a question worth asking.
To find hope amidst the ruins.
Always.
And to embrace the potential for beauty even in the most unexpected places.